Okay, hopefully everybody had a decent break. We're going to cover our last standard this semester now. It's inequalities. These are inequalities, all four of them are. This means greater than, okay? The nose points to the right, okay? The nose points to the right. That means, going to the right on a number line makes the number greater, okay? So it's greater than. Less than. Now, if the line's there, it's greater than or equal, and then less than or equal to. Okay, now on the back side is some words that represent, if I'm reading the sentence, words that stand for inequalities, code words for inequality. At least would be greater than or equal to. Starting at would be greater than or equal to. At most would be less than or equal to. No more than would be less than or equal to, and limited is also less than or equal to. Okay, just a greater than sign without the line would say more than, and then just a less than sign would say less than. Okay, now the two packets you have, I'm going to go over quite a bit of stuff. The problems don't take long, so that way you don't. So when you're working on your assignment, you don't have to go back and flip through. You can see your notes. Okay, write an inequality that represents each verbal expression. It says x is less than or equal to -7. So we're going to put less than or equal to. We're going to put that symbol. And we're going to put -7. And then here we're just going to put the x variable. Okay, nothing big there. P is greater than 1.5. Okay, so you're going to put, it just says greater than. Okay, so just saying a greater than would just be the symbol without the bar, without the line. Then you put P. 6 less than a number K is greater than 16, greater than 13. Okay, so it just says greater than. So you're going to put the greater than sign at 13. Now you're going to put K over here, but 6 less than means -6, so you want to put a -6 after your K, and that's it. Instead of sum, I want you to scribble that out and put the word product, please. Product. The product of x and 7 is, get rid of one of the s's, is less than or equal to -3. Okay, so less than or equal to that symbol right there, the -3. Now you put your variable. Now what's the word product mean? Product means multiplication. You can put .7. I would prefer you just put the 7 in front of the x, okay? That's what you're going to have right there. So product means times. If you want to put .7, that's fine, but it means. Okay, now the next one. Determine whether the number, you're going to get an inequality, 2 times x plus 1 is greater than -3, okay? We have to decide if -1 is a solution to the inequality, and it isn't hard to figure out if it is or not. You're just going to substitute -1 for the x. So you got 2 times -1 plus 1 greater than -3. Okay, so we do the math on this side. First we multiply. 2 times -1 is -2. Then we take -2 plus 1, and that's -1. So you have -1 greater than -3. Now, you can either ask yourself, is -1 greater than -3? If it's not, then no, it's not a solution. If it is, yes. Or if that confuses you, that sign should open up, okay? The sign should open up, meaning right here, in the direction of the larger number. Well, -1 is a larger value than -3, okay? And the sign does open up. It eats the bigger number, okay? It wants to eat the bigger number. It is going to eat the bigger number. Remember, think of this side as being a mouth, okay? That's a nose, that's a mouth, okay? It's about ready to eat the bigger number. So yes, it is a solution. Okay, 13 minus 7y is less than or equal to 6. So again, we're going to replace our y, substitute 1 in for y. So 13 minus 7 times 1 less than or equal to 6. So first you figure out what 7 times 1 is. That'd be 7. And then 13 minus 7 is 6. So we have 6 less than or equal to 6. Now this time the numbers are exactly identical. So there's no greater than or less than value. You just have to ask yourself, is the equals to line present? Is it there? Yes, it is. So yes, 1 is a solution to the inequality. Okay, negative 4 times x minus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 17. So on this side of the inequality, you substitute 5 in for x. So you have negative 4 times 5 minus 3 greater than or equal to 17. Okay, so first we're going to find that, multiply these two. That's going to be negative 20. And then we take negative 20 minus 3, which is negative 23. Okay, now which one of those is a larger is a higher value? Well, they're both negative, but negative 17 is a higher value than negative 23 is. It's a greater value. So that it has to eat the bigger number, and it doesn't, okay? The nose is pointing towards a bigger number. It's eating the smaller numbers, so that's no. 5 is not a solution to that. Okay, now the next one, 10 minus x, and all that divided by x, less than or equal to negative 60. And then it says is 0.2 going to be a solution to the inequality? Okay, you know how to figure that out. Okay, you're going to replace x's, both of them are substituted with 0.2. So you got 10 minus 0.2 on top, and then you got 0.2 on the bottom. Now, since the minus is happening on one side of the division, you need to figure out the minus first, and that's going to be 9.8, because I want to divide, but I have to know the two numbers I'm dividing. Then 9.8 divided by 0.2 is 49. So what's the higher value? Is it 49 or is it negative 60? I think, well, any positive has a higher value than any negative, so there's my higher value. The sign should be opening up, eating the bigger number. It's not, okay? So no, that's not a solution. Okay, graph each inequality. On a graph, it's not an XY coordinate plane. A graph with an inequality is a number line, and I'm not going to make you write all the numbers. Just put 0 in the middle and put the number they're talking about, 1. It's positive, so it goes this way. Here's how you graph it. You put a circle above the 1. Sometimes you fill it, shade it in. Sometimes you leave it empty. We will be leaving it empty because we don't have the equals to line. And then it's less than, remember the nose points left, so we're going left with it. So that means x can be any number as long as it's less than 1. Okay, any number as long as it's less than 1. Okay, a is greater than or equal to 0. So here you just have to put 0, you're going to circle. We will be filling in the circle because you can be equal to 0 because the line is there under the greater than sign. And then that's greater than, so we will be going this way. So we can be any number as long, it can be 0 or any number greater than 0. Okay, now this here isn't going to work. You notice on these two the variable came before the number did in the inequality, and likewise here. You need to rewrite this inequality so that the variable comes first and the number comes second. And when you rewrite it, the sign switches, okay? It's like saying Bob is taller than Susie, but then if I say Susie first in that sentence, Susie is what than Bob? It'd be shorter than, okay? So just like this, if I'm flipping or saying the order of the sentence, okay? There we have it. Okay, so we're going to put -2 over here. Circle, fill it in, and then less than goes that way. Okay, so you're good here. You got -3. F is greater than -3. So can't be equal to -3, so I leave the sign, the circle unshaded, then greater than goes that way. Okay, 8 is greater than or equal to B. Okay, first we got to rewrite the order of that. Okay, so B, 8, and I want you to switch the sign then to greater. The equals to is still there though. So B is less than or equal to 8. B is the unknown quantity. Okay, whatever the unknown quantity is, it can be equal to 8, and it can be anything less than 8. Okay, so there's a number line. Okay, x is greater than or equal to -2. So you got -2. You're in the correct order. Variable first, then the value. Okay, greater than or equal to -2. So you're going to start fill it in, and then nose points right, so we're going to the right. Okay, before I make the number line, that's messed up. You got to put your variable first, then your number, and then the sign switches. So -9 is your critical number, circle, fill it, because it can be equal to -9, or it could be anything greater than -9. It could be -8, -7, -6, anything that way on the number line. Okay, and then the next one, A is greater than or equal to -20. So -20 is our critical number. Okay, you're going to fill it in, and then it can also, because it can be equal, then it greater than would go this way. Okay, now you're going to take the number line and you're going to write an inequality from the graph. Now we're going to write we're going to write first off the basic inequality, okay? So you're going to put, you're going left here, okay? So you're going to put less than. You're not going to put the line because the bar is not there. And you're going to put 3 on one side, you're going to put x on the other. Circle that. That's one of the answers. Now, the other answer I want to see is the reverse of that. So 3x, and then you switch the sign, okay? Because that graph represents both of these. Okay, so first we're going to the right, okay? Going to the right, so it's greater than. The nose should point towards the right. We're not going to use the line because it's not colored in. So we put x, -2. Then flip that around, okay? So -2 comes before x, then we're going to flip it, okay? That's because I want it written in the 2 different ways that it could possibly be written. Start with what it's doing, but then flip it so the number comes before the variable. That's something they want you to do. Okay, so we're going left, so make the less than sign. The nose points towards the left in that instance, okay? Your color, it's filled in, so equals. Then I put x and 0, okay? That's the base. And then you can rewrite it if you put 0 and then x, but you would flip the sign. Okay, next one. You're going right, so that's greater than or equal to, because you're colored in. You put 1 after it and x before it. That's one answer I want to see. Then flip this. Then put 1x, and then it flips the sign. Okay. So those ones I want 2 answers. There's 2 ways to write it. Okay, write an inequality that describes the situation. Prices for rides start at $19.99. Okay. Now, what's the word start at mean? You're going to want to flip off that thing. Start at means greater than or equal to. Okay. And you're going to put $19.99, and then you're just going to put the variable R. Okay. On the word problems, you don't have to switch it. Okay. Don't worry about doing that. Okay, it's just on the ones where you see the graph where I want 2 answers. I'm good with just the 1. Speed limit on the interstate 75 miles per hour. So limit is less than or equal to 75 and then S. Okay. person must be at least 35 years old to be elected President of the United States. Okay, so at least means greater than or equal to. So you put 35, and then A is my age. Okay, every object on Earth travels less than 186,000 miles per second. So it says less than, but it just says just less than means we don't draw the line. So 186,000 and then V. Okay, this is kind of the same thing as we were just doing. My goal is to earn $300 selling cookies and donuts. Cookies cost 50 cents each. Cookies are represented by a variable C. Donuts cost 75 cents each. Donuts are represented with a variable D. Write an inequality to represent my goal. Now, when I'm earning money, I set a goal. It's okay to go over the goal. So it's greater than or equal to 300. Now, I'm selling, how am I going to make $300? Well, I'm going to be selling cookies, but I don't know how many of them I'm going to sell, so it'd be C times C. Plus, I'm also going to be selling donuts for 75 cents each. Don't know how many of those I'm going to sell, so I put the variable D, and there's your inequality. 50 cents C plus 75 cents D is greater than or equal to 300. My goal is to earn $1,000 selling t-shirts and hoodies. T-shirts cost $9.99 each. T, hoodies are $20 each. H, write an inequality to represent my goal. Okay, now you got 1,000. Now again, when you set a goal, it's always okay to exceed the goal. So 1,000. Okay, so I got $19.90. I'm going to be selling t-shirts for $9.99. I put the variable T. We'll be selling the hoodies for $20 each, so H, because I don't know how many, and there's the inequality. Okay, now these are different. The ones where there's just, A florist is making centerpieces. 5 centerpieces require 24 roses. We have 96 roses. Write an inequality for how many centerpieces we can make. Now, you're going to solve the problem, but instead of writing just equals, you're going to write an inequality. Go up here, make your X, Y. You don't have a time unit, so you got centerpieces and roses. I guess we'll put centerpieces for X. It doesn't really matter, okay? Now, if I make 0 centerpieces, I don't need any roses. So that right there tells me I make proportions, okay? Again, 5 requires 24, and then 96, but here's one thing. Don't put X there, put C for the unit. Okay, so centerpieces, roses. Okay, so we have 5 centerpieces, 24 roses. And then we have 96 roses, but I don't know how many centerpieces, so I'm going to put a C variable for that, and then I'm going to cross multiply and divide. 5 times 96 divided by 24. I got 20. So I put 20 down, but here's how you write the inequality. You put C, and you can't make more than 20 centerpieces because you only have 96 roses. You don't have any more than that, so it's less than or equal to 20. So it's like you're solving a proportion, but you're writing your answer as an inequality. Okay, 5 pounds of pasta serves 14 people. We have 17.5 pounds of salad. Write an inequality that represents how many people we can serve with what we have. Okay, so X, Y. You got pounds and people. It doesn't really matter which one's X and Y. Now, if you have 0 pounds, you can't serve any people. So with the 0, that means it's proportions. 5 pounds, 14 people, and we got 17.5 pounds. I'm going to put P people, okay? So again, you can line up the units, and you're going to put 5 to 14, and then 17.5 to P. Okay, cross multiply and divide. 14 times 17.5 divided by 5, I got 49. And I would not be able to serve more than 49. Okay, so it's less than or equal to 49.